Okay, boys and girls, welcome back. So we are going to continue our hot cocoa artworks, and today is my favorite part because we get to play with a lot of different stuff today, or not play, but use a lot of fun things like cotton and clay. We're going to cut things out and glue things down. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your cocoa artwork back that you started last time, and then you're going to get several different items. You're going to have a little bit of model magic. You won't get a whole package, I'll just give you a little bit. You'll get a glue stick, you'll get some cotton, and then some construction paper that's brown like warm hot chocolate, a color pencil, and some scissors. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to try to draw an ellipse, not lips like your lips that you make smiles and kisses with, but an ellipse, which is the name of the shape that we're gonna make, and that's this kind of shape right here. Now, it does not have to be perfectly exactly the same, and in fact, it can be a little bit smaller than this. What you're gonna do is you're gonna use your eyes. You can't really trace this because it's not see-through. That would be great, but it's not. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna do the best you can. You're gonna use your eyes to kind of draw this same shape. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my finger first, and I'm gonna kind of just like trace it in the air, and then I'm gonna put that memory of kind of what it feels like to draw it into my fingers, and then I'm gonna get a pencil and I'm gonna do it again, and then I'm gonna go down to my paper and I'm gonna try to draw that same shape. And I drew it a little bit smaller, so hopefully when I cut it out, it will fit on the inside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this shape and I'm gonna cut it out of my brown paper, okay, to make it my hot chocolate on the inside of my cup, okay, and then I'm gonna see if it fits. If it doesn't fit, that's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna go back and redo it, okay? It does fit on the inside. Maybe you might decide, no, I want it to be a little bit bigger, or maybe it's too big and you need to cut it a little bit smaller, but we are just guessing. We're not actually tracing. So you're going to be imperfect at this, and that is perfectly fine. If you like it and you're okay with it, then you're gonna go ahead and glue that down. So you need to glue down your paper first. You got a little glue stick here. We're gonna put some glue on the back, okay? And we're gonna glue that down and just kind of press the ends or the pointed parts of the ellipse. Remember, an ellipse is kind of like an eye shape or a football shape, okay? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to give you a little bit of clay, and with this white clay, I love it. It already kind of looks like a marshmallow when you see it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna form it into a couple of marshmallow shapes, which are cylinders. Remember, cylinders are forms, but we need to make them small cylinders. So I'm gonna take a teeny tiny piece and I'm gonna kind of roll it in my hand or my fingers like a ball to make it round first. So it should be a sphere shape. Then what I'm gonna do is on the sides, I'm gonna kind of rub it back and forth until it becomes like a cylinder shape. It's a little bit flat. Don't do it too much because we don't want it to be like a hot dog, right? So if you accidentally do it too much, just start over, okay? And then again, just kind of going back and forth one direction with your fingers until you've got it a little bit the way that you want it. You can squish it back in a little bit if it's a little too fat, but you want to make it like a marshmallow shape or a cylinder shape. You're going to make a couple of those, so I'm just going to set that down for a second, and I'm going to do another one. If you have extra left over, you can play with it for a little bit, but you're gonna have to actually give it back. You can't keep it because it's gonna dry out, so you can play with it if you have a lot of extra, but you wanna make some marshmallows first. So I'm gonna make a sphere and then roll it just a little bit, see if it's the right size. Whoop, I need to squish it a little. Squish, squish, squish. Roll, roll, roll. Squish, squish, squish. Roll, roll, roll until I've got it the way that I want it. That's pretty good. And then I'm gonna do another one here. I think 3 is good. You can decide how many that you want to put. My daughter likes to put lots and lots in hers, so you decide what you think is best. Maybe you don't like marshmallows, but you need at least 2 marshmallows in your hot chocolate today, okay? At least 2. So I've got my marshmallows. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna need lots of glue. So I'm in one spot on top of my hot chocolate. I'm gonna add a big, thick amount of glue, and I'm gonna set that on top. I'm gonna do it again. I'm not gonna put it onto the clay because it's gonna squish the clay. So I'm just gonna put it on the paper and then take the clay and kind of squish it onto the paper just a little bit. Don't press it down because then it'll be a flat melted marshmallow, right? And we don't want that quite yet. We just want them to look like marshmallows. The last thing is you're gonna get to add your steam. Now right now when I give this to you, it's gonna be kind of all together and it's not gonna look like steam. Steam is actually like a gas. We've talked about like solid, liquid, and gas. So steam is a gas. So it needs to kind of separate a little bit. So with your fingers, I want you to just kind of pull it apart a little bit, almost so it's like a little bit see-through. And you're gonna lay it down so it's kind of floating a little bit see-through on your paper like that, okay? I'm gonna put down some glue first though. I don't wanna put it directly onto my cotton because then it's just gonna make a mess. So in the area that I think it's gonna go, I'm gonna add that glue, and then I'm gonna put it down on top, and I'm gonna squish it a little bit. And it might get a little on your fingers, that's okay. We can go wash our fingers when we're done. But that is what we are going to do today. And then I finished. I've got my hot cocoa and my marshmallows and my steam, okay? When you're done, you're gonna take a picture of it and send it to me, and then you can go into online coloring.